Warning! The root's on fire! You're about to experience the most high-octane, pedal-to-the-metal controversial show of your life. Please buckle up and hold on tightly. This station is not responsible for injuries. This is Wayne Allyn Root, raw and unfiltered, with America's favorite conservative rock star. Direct from the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas. What time is it? It's time for war! Here's your host, 100% raw truth, 100% American made, the warrior, Wayne Allyn Root.
All right, we're on. Wayne Allyn Root, welcome back. Another week to hit the liberals, otherwise known as communists. Big news of the week, of course, Senator Lindsey Graham dropping dead. Not a good thing. It's funny because there's really a couple of scenarios out there. Number one, that he died because he got poisoned visiting Ukraine. Something happened. The Russians poisoned him. The Iranians poisoned him. Someone poisoned him. There's a few nut jobs out there who claim he was killed in Ukraine. And the whole story is a lie about calling 911 and dying in his home here in the United States. So that would be scenario number two, and I don't believe that for a second. That's ridiculous conspiracy talk. And then number three is that, look, he's a 71-year-old man. His father died of a heart attack. He died of heart problems. Pretty normal stuff. Number four is he was on a long plane ride, like 14 hours back from Ukraine. He died the next day, sitting in one place. That can cause problems, especially for an older man. But not one person but Wayne Root is saying this is related to the COVID vaccine. I'm telling you, it's related to the COVID vaccine. And it's just another sudden death. Whenever you hear those words, died suddenly, out of the blue, never sick, no one ever heard he had a problem, and then died suddenly, you can bet it's the COVID vaccine. Do I know that for a fact? I know for a fact he took the COVID vaccine. He bragged about it online. He did a video where he showed himself getting the vaccine, and he urged everyone to get the vaccine, like he did. So we know he got the vaccine. And then on the same weekend, we hear Sam O'Neill dies, the famous actor from Australia and New Zealand. Great actor. I always enjoyed watching Sam O'Neill, and he always seemed like a good guy. But you cannot work in Hollywood on any movie set without getting the COVID vaccine and every booster. And he lived in New Zealand, where they're zealots for the vaccine. Everybody's got to get every vaccine in New Zealand. And he's drops dead of cancer. He had cancer for 5 years, which means right about the time he got the first COVID shot, he got cancer within a few months. Then he fought it for 5 years. Then he beat it. He announced 2 months ago, I am cancer-free, and he dropped dead yesterday. So, again, I look at the COVID vaccine as the culprit of the cancer. I look at the COVID vaccine as the culprit because he had a rare, deadly cancer. I look at the COVID vaccine as a culprit because he had to get it to get on a movie set. He had to get it if he lived in New Zealand. And I look at it as the culprit because he beat cancer, supposedly, and he still died. Suddenly. Who knows? His heart stopped. Whatever happened, we don't know Sam O'Neill's cause of death. I did speak with a guy I think is the world's authority on COVID vaccines and the COVID vaccine injury, Steve Kirsch, who's been a guest on this show many times. And Steve says he's with me. He believes that the COVID vaccine was the reason for Lindsey Graham's heart disaster. Basically, a valve just collapsed and his heart exploded. And he believes that's COVID vaccine related. We'll see. I have a call in to Dr. Peter McCullough, who's not only a COVID vaccine death expert, but he's also one of the world's authorities on hearts. He's a cardiologist and was in charge of the whole Baylor healthcare system. So I'm waiting to see what he has to say, if he agrees with my assessment that this is COVID vaccine related. Trump says Lindsey Graham's death, a big blow to the Save America Act, which is, what I'm going to write about. I should have the column done tomorrow. I was going to write the column today, but I just never found the time. A lot going on. You all who follow this show know that I said from day one the Save America Act was never going to pass. This idea that Lindsey Graham's death makes it even harder, well, that's true. It is even harder. It's another vote harder. but it was never going to pass. You need a 60 vote majority. It's not like you could pass it with 51 votes. Unless you suspend the filibuster, you need a 60 vote majority. You were never going to get that. And I came up with the way to turn lemons to lemonade, make it even better. You don't need it. It's called the National Security Emergency, a presidential national security emergency. And I came up with it in 2019. Trump used it to fund the wall, grab the funds for the Pentagon, and go above the Senate's head. And once again, same exact thing could be used to go over the Senate's head this time and create national secure elections. And there's no way to undo it, just like they couldn't undo it in 2019. They never even tried. You can't go to court to upend a national security emergency. You have to have a 2/3 vote of both houses of Congress. So Trump beat them in 2019 with Wayne's idea, and I think he'll beat them now in 2026 with Wayne's idea. This idea of mine is the answer, period. It is the answer. It is not an executive order. It's a national security emergency. It's a whole different animal. So I'm going to write that column again for the 9,000th time tomorrow. And explain it again, explain why it's different than an executive order and why it cannot be challenged in court and why I already used it to help President Trump in 2019. So look for that column, hopefully tomorrow, certainly a worst case, Wednesday. Trump shared details from last phone call with Lindsey Graham, just moments before he died. And the claim is that Lindsey was talking about the Save America Act. I don't know if that's true, but that's the claim. That's the claim. The Save America Act is what Trump says he was talking about. He's going to get it done, like tomorrow, meaning today. And then he died. But it wasn't going to get done because you need 60 votes. Sorry, that was not happening. Trump makes surprise pick to fill Graham's Senate seat. He says he wants to fill it with Lindsey Graham's sister. Look, I love Trump, but I have sometimes he's at left field. I have no idea what the hell at all he's talking about. I really don't know. Why would you fill it with his sister? Lindsey Graham sucked. I know Trump liked him as a friend. I know Trump liked him as an ally. And sometimes he did back Trump. But Lindsey Graham was not a Trump ally, even though Trump thinks so. Wayne Root's a Trump ally. Ted Cruz is a Trump ally. Ted Cruz's Heritage Foundation ratings, that's all that matters. That's the gold. Heritage ratings. You either are or you aren't on our side. 1 to 100, Ted Cruz is 96% rating in this Congress and 92% lifetime. About as good as you get. 92% on our side, according to the Heritage Foundation rankings. Lindsey Graham, 52% lifetime rating. Lindsey Graham is barely even qualifies as a rhino Republican. If you're below 50, you might as well be a Democrat. He's at 52. Lindsey Graham was no friend of MAGA. He may have been a friend of Trump, as in, hey, I love you, you love me, we're friends. We play golf together. But he was no friend of the MAGA agenda. So why would you want his sister to fill in? What do I know about his sister? Absolutely nothing, number one. And number two, this isn't Britain. We're not a monarchy. Senate seats are not owned by families, Mr. President. That's like if President Trump died and he was supposed to be replaced by VP Vance, and all of a sudden Trump left a note, and the note says, I wish my son to replace me. Well, the vice president replaces you, and then the Speaker of the House replaces you if something happens to the VP. You can't just say, I want Don Trump Jr. to be president. There is no such thing. This is not England. There is no king in this country. So I don't want his sister to replace him. Who's his sister? I don't know anything about her. His family doesn't own that seat. All right. Only 20 legislative days left. Senator Mike Lee goes off on the lazy Republican establishment and demands Congress work weekends to pass the Save America Act before the midterms. Again, I don't want to be negative. I agree. I hope it passes. But it's not the answer. It doesn't even deal with mail-in ballots. It doesn't deal with stolen elections based on machines being corrupted and hacked. Got to get rid of the voting machines and got to get rid of the mail-in ballots. So my idea gets rid of both of those. The SAVE Act doesn't work. It's not good enough. But I'm not against passing it. Pass it and then pass a national security emergency. All right. The big news story of the day, besides Lindsey Graham dropping dead, which was a shock to everyone, including me. I mean, it's just shocking. He seemed in good shape. There's nothing wrong with him, and then he just drops dead. And I guess it happens every day in the United States. And it happened before the vaccine, too. I will admit that. It'll happen after the vaccine. Long after the vaccine is gone, it'll happen. But the vaccine has accelerated it all, and a lot of people took it, a lot of people are sick, and a lot of people are dying. So it certainly is fair to ask the question. Well, I don't have to ask the question. Did Lindsey Graham get the vaccine? Yes, he did. Don't even need to ask the question. But the question would be then, did the vaccine contribute to his death? And no doctor is going to say that, but we all know it's true. All right, big news today. Negative news about alleged rapist Graham Plattner was suppressed by big tech. Shocking, but not shocking, because I expect it every day. You know, I just did the trial at Freedom Fest. I don't want to forget that, too. That just happened on Friday, so I haven't even seen any of you since I won my trial at Freedom Fest. It was me as the defense lawyer defending ICE. And I was the winner against a real-life lawyer. Remember, I'm not a lawyer. I was the winner against a real-life lawyer and against ACLU lawyer as a witness for the lawyer and against a jury that I thought was kind of chosen to be unfriendly to me and an audience that's very libertarian. So many of them believe in open borders. And it was a trial of ICE, that ICE is doing terrible things to illegal immigrants and they're moving too aggressively and they've got to be stopped. And Wayne Root beat the attorney, the real-life attorney, even though Wayne Root isn't an attorney. I was a damn good attorney. I could have been a great attorney, and I was a great attorney on Friday, and I beat the attorney who had never lost at Freedom Fest in front of a judge and a jury of 12. And my star witnesses helped a lot. Of course, I'm good at picking witnesses. Dean Cain, who's a superstar and Superman, superstar of Superman, and J.J. Carroll, who's a border agent, who has deported, he said, over 100,000 people. 100,000 illegal aliens have been deported by specifically one man, J.J. Carroll. And why did I pick Superman, Dean Cain? Because he's a honorary ICE agent. And they both did a great job, and we won the case. And I said during the trial, the other side tried to bring up how unpopular deportation is. And I said, you guys live in a dream world, man. Those are the polls that said Trump would lose in 16. Trump would lose in 20, and Trump was losing to Kamala or tied with Kamala in 24. None of those things were ever true. The polls are lying. They're oversampling Democrats. The American people are overwhelmingly in favor of deportation. And I'm telling you, it's not just the polls, it's the news. You only hear negative news about ICE. They don't even allow good news, and that's what happened with Graham Plattner, the Senate candidate in Maine. Two of the most popular news aggregation services suppressed scores of articles about disgraced former Maine Senate candidate Graham Plattner for months during his ill-fated campaign till the weight of his scandals finally became too much to ignore. A shocking new study has found. They're talking about both Apple News and Google News published 0 stories between last November and this past May, covering controversies including Plattner's Nazi tattoo and his offensive Reddit posts. The study found the tech giants also failed to promote at least 112 news stories published by conservative leading outlets that investigated Plattner's disturbing history during that November to May period. So again, I'm telling you, I see it with my eyes every day, and I'm right. It turns out I'm 100% right. Again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. The news is slanted against us, not 5%, not 10%, 110%. So, of course, there's people that don't believe in Donald Trump. Of course, there's people that hate Donald Trump. The news media forces you to hate Donald Trump. And despite that, he won 3 times. Yes, 3 times. Democrat embraced radical Muslim imam celebrates the death of Senator Lindsey Graham. He says, may you live in eternity in ruins. So it's just like Charlie Kirk. They're celebrating online. A Muslim leader in Dallas, Texas, who Democrat leaders have embraced, is celebrating the death of Senator Lindsey Graham. Rise, Align, Ignite, Reclaim the USA Foundation, called RAIR, R-A-I-R. And the founder is Amy Meck, pointed out that Iman Omar Suleiman posted about the senator's death hours after it was announced. There's an open celebration of an American senator's death by one of America's most dangerous imams who's allowed to operate in Texas with 0 government pushback. adding that he has defended convicted terrorists, called for a third intifada, and goes to Turkey to work with Muslim Brotherhood leaders who are banned from entering the United States. Same old, folks. Everything is bad. There's just so many bad people out there, and the media won't cover it. It's amazing. Comedian Margaret Cho mocks Lindsey Graham's death, suggests Trump is next in a viral video. Cho also appeared to wish Trump dead, referencing Mitch McConnell and tagging the video with resist. #resist. And at the same time that happens, just to show you again, it's that Charlie Kirk thing that exposed liberals as evil and sick in the head and hateful and want us to die. British Reform UK politician Anne Widdecombe's killing. She was killed in her own house a few days ago. Very famous member of parliament in Britain. Very conservative, kind of like me. Someone came in her house and murdered her. And I believe she was stabbed to death, which makes sense because in England they brag all day long how no one has guns. And that makes total sense, right? Except their crime rate is twice as high as America, and everyone dies because they get stabbed, or acid gets poured in their eyes, or they get killed with a ceremonial sword. You don't need a gun to kill people. In England, the violent crime rate twice as high as America, and it's all knives. So she's stabbed to death, and now it's being treated as terrorism, and the suspect is rearrested. Let me just see what the facts are, because I'm pretty sure I remember that she was stabbed to death in her own house. Police are pursuing multiple lines of inquiry to establish the motivation. 28-year-old white British man initially arrested for murder on Saturday has been rearrested on suspicion of commission, preparation, or instigation of acts of terrorism. The attack may have been motivated by her politics, a claim that is being vindicated now. The police first, of course, would not admit that. We know in England they'd never admit that. Now they're starting to give up and put their hands in the air and say, yes, it was terrorist. Just trying to see. Nah, they're not telling me. Oh, here it is. He drove 270 miles and with a wooden stick on the morning she died. So I guess he beat her to death with a wooden stick, once again proving whether it's a knife, whether it's a machete, whether it's a ceremonial sword, or whether it's a wooden stick or a tree branch, you're going to kill someone. You want to kill someone, you're going to kill someone in England. You don't need guns to do it. Leftists celebrate the murder of conservative British politician. The savage killing of 78-year-old Reform UK spokesman Anne Widdecombe has unleashed a torrent of vile celebration from left-wing activists, revealing the depths of ideological hatred among the left in the UK. Well, don't sit back and go, gee, that's the UK. The United States, exactly the same. Exactly the same. We saw it after Charlie Kirk. You'd see it if I died tomorrow. They'd all be cheering and saying, Wayne Root is dead. Yes, that's fantastic. I hope he goes to hell and burns in hell the rest of his life. They're sick in the head, all of them. That's the left, and that's why we need a national divorce. I've said this for months now. Two more stories, then we'll go to break. New York City sees a dramatic exodus of U.S. millionaires, causing about an $11 billion loss in tax revenue. Who predicted that for the first day, Wayne Root? I said all the Jews are going to leave, and all the Jews make the money. They're the hardest working. They're the most educated. They got the best jobs, the best titles. The whole world hates Jews because they're jealous, but Jews are successful people, and if Jews leave, there's no money anymore. If Muslims arrive, all they do is suck money out of the system. Muslims don't know how to make money. They know how to accept welfare checks, demand welfare checks, and murder people. But Jews make money. And if all the Jews leave New York City and go to Florida or Texas or Nevada, where I live, then there's going to be nobody making money in New York City, nobody paying taxes, and New York's going to go under. And last but not least, once again, a Mondami story. New York socialist mayor and his radical left-wing lieutenants promised voters free bus rides, government-run grocery stores, cheap housing, and much more, yet the dream of a left-wing utopia has not materialized. In fact, rents in New York City just hit a record high. He froze the rents, and they just hit a record high, proving once again it does not work. Communism never works. It never has worked. It never will work in the history of mankind or in the future of mankind. Communism will never work because the average person has in their heart a desire to make money, and they want to work hard to make it, and they want people who don't work hard to freaking fail. And communism rewards the people who don't work hard and punishes the people who do work hard, and that cannot work. All right, sponsor of this segment of the show, AmioLife.com, one of my favorite companies. I use their alkaline structured silver solution 4 times a day and their natural silver mouthwash. I gargle with it all day, several times a day. Silver gel on my face each night before I go to bed, silver lozenges. I suck on them under my tongue throughout the show, keeping my voice alive, all part of my daily wellness routine. The good folks at Amio Life realize inflation is a very tough problem hitting hard right now. So they're offering my listeners a special 30% discount on their entire product selection line. 30% off. Visit AmioLife.com. That's AmioLife.com. Use all the products I use and get 30% off. Just type in Root 30 when you get to their checkout. Root 30 for Wayne Root. Root, R-O-O-T 30. Get 30% off. AmioLife.com. When we get back, a guest coming up and a lot more news. So stay tuned right here on War Zone Live. Hi, I'm Wayne Allyn Root, CEO, conservative TV and radio host, and best-selling author. I believe in America and American exceptionalism. America is now focused on energy independence. Enter Lost Soldier Oil and Gas. It took 40 years to piece together this 40,000-acre giant gas discovery. The first 4,000 feet drilled so far are estimated to contain up to 6 trillion cubic feet of gas, making it one of the largest natural gas discoveries in the Rocky Mountain region in the last 30 years. This is how we power the AI future of America with clean natural gas. Headed by oil and gas legend Mark Bruner, whose previous public companies, Pinnacle Energy and Ultra Petroleum, delivered spectacular returns for investors. At its peak, a $10,000 investment in Ultra Petroleum turned into over $13 million. To learn more about this Lost Soldier oil and gas opportunity, go to lostsoldier.com. Fill out the contact form. That's lostsoldier.com. Hi, this is Wayne Allyn Root. If you're sick and tired of supporting woke companies, I have great news for you. You don't have to anymore. You can shop where my family shops at GreatPatriotStore.com. My team researched thousands of companies for my best-selling book, The Great Patriot Boycott Book, and one stood out above all, GreatPatriotStore.com. This is the answer to inflation. Hundreds of household products that you're already buying. Much higher quality, no toxic chemicals, delivered right to your door at incredible prices. 20,000 American families are joining every month, and you should too. And now they've got the beef, pasture raised with no hormones, antibiotics, or mRNA ever, exclusively available only to their members. Like Costco or Sam's Club, you need to become a member. Go to GreatPatriotStore.com. Fill out the form and they'll contact you right away. And boom, you're a member. For a limited time, the annual membership is $1. Go to GreatPatriotStore.com. That's GreatPatriotStore.com. Hey, Wayne Allyn Root, America Speaks. You call in and we talk about it. Your opinions, your comments, your questions. How do you call in? 800-347-ROOT. 800-347-ROOT. 800-347-7668. The show airs at midnight, East Coast time, 9 p.m. Pacific, but we tape it at 6 p.m. East Coast time, 3 p.m. Pacific. So you call in at 6 p.m. Eastern, and I talk to you, and it airs that night at midnight. The phone number again, 800-347-ROOT. That number is 24/7. You can leave voicemails. We play your voicemails on the air as well.
Hey, Wayne, what do you think about Obama?
He was a communist, socialist, Marxist radical.
I agree.
Or you can email me, wayneroot@gmail.com. I'll read your email live on the air with your comments or questions. America Speaks. All right, Wayne Allyn Root, there is nothing worse in America than illegal immigration. Nothing. And the worst part of illegal immigration, because the Latino vote is getting pretty good, right? I mean, everywhere I look, Latinos vote slightly more Republican than Democrat. That's amazing. They're better than Jews. Far better. Latinos actually vote majority Republican by a little bit nationwide. But the worst thing is Muslims. So we can let Latinos in. You can't let Muslims in. They are just horrible. They are criminals. They are stealing. They are looting the taxpayers. I'm talking about separate from being robbers, as in looting the, committing crimes on the street. They're looting the taxpayers with these nonprofits and these NGOs, and they hate Americans. They hate Christians. They hate Jews. They don't belong in this country. You can't allow them to play the call to prayer out loud. That's noise pollution. It's disgusting. They want to kill us. They want to conquer us. It's a gigantic problem. Sheriff Warren's Somali gang violence is rising in Minnesota's ethnic enclaves. Ramsey County Sheriff Bob Fletcher called out the growing wave of gang violence involving Somali youth in Minnesota, saying authorities need to address the issue before it worsens. He shared a video Monday alongside gang investigators discussing what his office says are 12 Somali gangs operating in the state. He said the issue has been monitored for 2 years and has increased significantly. Why speak out now? Because it is obviously a problem. We've been monitoring it for 2 years. It's exponentially increasing. His office estimates roughly 300 people are out of about 100,000 are involved in gangs, and they're causing all the crimes. And I've said this for years now. I've said this for years, that if you did 3 strikes and you're out forever, and there is no exception, you're in jail for the rest of your life. Sure, we'd increase the prison population. Ooh, how terrible. But the people would be safe on the streets because the same criminals cause the same crimes again and again and again and again. So you could take out 20% of the criminals, and it would take care of 100% of the crime. Probably 2% of the criminals would take care of, 80% plus of the crime. Just like the same is true of income that no one wants to talk about. Like rich people are so bad. Oh, they're so terrible. Oh, God, we got to stop rich people. Rich people pay all the taxes. The top 2% pay something like 50% of the taxes in the United States of America. The top 20% pay basically 80% of all the taxes, and the top 40% pay 100% of all the taxes. The bottom 20% are negative. They take out and they pay nothing in. So you need rich people. Without rich people, you've got nothing. I sound like Sergeant Schultz. You've got nothing. Without rich people, you've got nothing. He says, I hear nothing. I see nothing. That's the average Democrat. Good news. Jim Banks, United States Senator from Indiana, introduced a bill to end birthright citizenship for children of illegal aliens and birth tourists using the Kavanaugh playbook. He defines them as children of invaders. That's what they are. They are children of invaders. And the birth tourism should not even be a question. Senator Jim Banks set to introduce the Citizenship Act Monday, so that's today, legislation that would finally slam the door on birthright citizenship for children of illegal aliens and birth tourists by classifying their parents as invaders under federal law. Comes just weeks after the Supreme Court struck down Trump's executive order restricting birthright citizenship, ruling that children born in the United States to illegal immigrants and temporary visa holders remain U.S. citizens under the 14th Amendment. But Justice Kavanaugh is the one who left the door open a crack, right? Banks' legislation responds directly to Kavanaugh's ruling by codifying the argument that individuals who enter the United States illegally should be treated as invaders for purposes of federal citizenship law. Banks is using a clever legislative workaround inspired by Justice Brett Kavanaugh's concurrence in the case. Kavanaugh noted that while Trump's executive order conflicted with the existing statute, Congress has the power to amend the law and create clear exceptions, exactly what this bill does. So that's good. Anyone involved in birth tourism is an invader, and the children of illegals are invaders. If you're not legal, you don't belong in the United States, your children can't possibly be legal. And this shows you, it's going to continue getting worse. One dead after ICE agents opened fire in self-defense when suspect tries to run them over in Maine. The FBI is now investigating. A driver in Maine attempted to run over, let's say allegedly attempted to run over ICE agents during a targeted enforcement operation Monday, forcing the agents to fire their weapons in self-defense. The subject was killed. The incident occurred at 7:20 a.m. in Biddeford, Maine. Brave ICE heroes were conducting a targeted operation when an individual attempted to run over an agent. Faced with an immediate threat to their lives, an agent was forced to draw their weapon, fire in clear self-defense, neutralizing the suspect. The individual pronounced dead at the scene. So, I don't know what to say. If you don't punish people, it just keeps getting worse and worse. And more people come, and that's what that birthright citizenship ruling did. more people are going to keep coming, and they're going to flood the United States. They're going to ruin the United States. They're going to destroy the United States, change the demographics of the United States. It's already, of course, happened dramatically, and it's just going to get worse if you don't punish the criminals. You got to punish the criminals. And if you allow people to shoot at ICE officers or to run them down with a deadly weapon called a car, you're going to get more and more incidents like this where people get shot and killed. You know, it's the same thing that I tell to black Americans. There's no doubt in my mind that it's tough to be driving while black and a cop's behind you. I agree with that. You know, I agree with that. I also feel bad for the cop because cops all day long see crime, violence. And in every case, it's a black criminal. So when they see a black person in a car, they start to think black criminal. So I see both sides. I feel bad for a nice black person who's innocent, has done nothing wrong, is a good citizen. And of course, the cop is looking at them like they're a criminal because all the cop sees all day long is black crime. So especially in a black neighborhood, it's all black crime. So when they see a black person, they see a black criminal in their minds. They also are worried they're never going to get home and see their family again. Feel bad for the cop, but I feel bad for the black guy too. So I tell black people, if you're nice to the cop and you're respectful to the cop and you're not rude to the cop and you do whatever he tells you and say, yes, sir, or yes, ma'am, you will never die. Never. Your kids will never die. Just be nice every single time a cop or law enforcement or ICE or whatever, version of law enforcement, every single time that something happens, it's because the person mouthed off or reached for the gun or told the cop F you or tried to punch him in the face, tried to reach for his weapon. That's why you get killed. It isn't because you're black. It starts out bad because you're black, but it can end very quickly. It can end very quickly in a positive way if we just found a way. Try to figure out how to lower this. But Charlie, do you know which one lowers this? Because it's just blaring in my ear. If we just are nice to cops, nothing bad will happen to a black person. Nothing bad will happen to a person who is against what ICE is doing, and they're merely standing out of the way and holding a protest sign. But as soon as you go towards an ICE officer mouthing off, as soon as you try and hurt him, punch him, grab his gun, as soon as you try to shove him, as soon as you scream F you, as soon as you bring a gun to that rally, your life's in danger because you're an idiot. You're a complete moron. Do you want me to talk to a cop with a gun in my hand? Then I'm going to get shot dead. Doesn't matter if you're white or black. U.S. Capitol Police arrest armed man at the north barricade of the Capitol building. Another incident. I want to write this column. I just don't have a chance to write that many columns anymore. Who has time? With 2 TV shows now and a podcast. But here's my column. How come no one ever tried to kill Barack Obama? How come no one ever tried to kill Joe Biden? They're all trying to kill Donald Trump. Well, answer number 1 is Trump derangement syndrome, right? There's a lot of mentally ill liberals. And answer number 2 is Trump's actually doing something good for America. And these are a bunch of communist scumbag traitors trying to kill Trump who hate America. Nobody ever wanted to kill Obama. No one ever wanted to kill Biden because all the people that are vile and violent and hateful scumbags and traitors want them to do the things they did. Trump is fighting the deep state and the DC swamp and the communists and the globalists. So all the hate goes against Trump. Fox reveals the Democrat Socialist of America's stunning agenda to remake America. So let's put it up on the screen. The host says your jaw's going to drop. So number 1, they want to eliminate the U.S. Senate. A whole third branch of government. Let's get rid of it. That's number 1. The platform proposes restructuring the executive and judicial branches as well. Number 2, let's just replace the president and the Supreme Court with an executive and judiciary chosen by and subordinate to Congress, so no more equal branches of government. Immigration policy, another component of the reported platform. Amnesty for all immigrants. We saw this one coming. She concluded by identifying another proposal she said appears in the platform. Number 4, defund the Department of War. This is real. We're not kidding. I mean, this is coming in a matter of days. These are the candidates that are winning across America. Truly amazing that they believe in such sick things. And really, it's the same platform that destroyed the Soviet Union, the same platform that destroyed Vietnam, same platform that destroyed North Korea, the same platform that destroyed Greece, Same platform destroyed Venezuela. Cuba, everywhere in the world that they try communism, socialism, Marxism, it destroys their country. Destroys their country. Evidence mounts of non-citizens reaching voter rolls, casting ballots as the DOJ speeds a crackdown. The Trump DOJ has secured about 24 non-citizen voting arrests, prosecutions or convictions in the last few months, with another 90 more cases under investigation. But again and again, we are proving that non-citizens are voting and they need to be arrested. And what was my idea that I mentioned on the air several times, that President Trump needs to end every sentence at every press conference and every Truth Social post, every social media post, has to end with any non-citizen who votes in the midterms will be automatically deported out of the United States. No trial, you're gone. You're deported. If you're illegal and you vote, you're deported. And I'm telling you, it's necessary because millions of illegals are registered to vote and they're voting. They're voting by mail-in ballot. They don't even come to the polls. You never see them. This is the silent vote destroying America. You never see them. How do I know? Because they're automatically registered at DMV. They're all over Las Vegas, Nevada. The entire culinary union in Las Vegas is a bunch of illegal immigrants voting. All right, Sam O'Neill. Excuse me, I called him Sam O'Neill. It's Sam Neill. Sam Neill, the actor, remembered as one of the greats by Nicole Kidman, after another sudden death, died unexpectedly on Monday. Anytime you hear died suddenly, died unexpectedly, died after a brief illness, meaning they got sick on Monday and by Wednesday they were dead when they were never sick before. It's in every case, they're vaccinated. You think that's a coincidence? I want everybody to think back to what they call cancer clusters. Right, there are neighborhoods in America where a lot of kids wind up with brain cancer. Or a lot of kids wind up with one kind of cancer, liver cancer, kidney cancer, pancreatic cancer. They all have the same cancer. It's all because some company buried drugs in the ground and then they built the houses on top of that. And those drugs seeped out or seeped into the water supply and the kids got sick. That's called a cancer cluster. When you see that, you've got to investigate something's wrong. When 8 young kids in one neighborhood get cancer and it's all the same kind of cancer, there's something wrong. Well, in our country, we have a vaccine cluster. It's not one neighborhood, it's the whole damn country. There's something wrong with the COVID vaccine. It's killing people, killing people. And so why do I mention that? Because Sam Neill, I thought it was Sam O'Neill. Sam Neill just died suddenly. He announced he was cancer-free 2 months ago, and he died literally over the weekend, out of the blue. And don't forget, Lindsey Graham just died out of the blue. Massive heart problem. I won't call it a heart attack. They did say cardiac arrest, but it all started with some sort of a artery of the heart that I think just basically tore off, and then the blood poured into his body and his heart exploded. All of this is, these are all people that are vaccinated. Could it be a coincidence? Sure, with some of them. But I guarantee you with others, it was brought on by the COVID vaccine. And we need to start admitting it. We need to start admitting it. All right, Obama appointed federal judge blocks Trump administration's anti-DEI grant conditions. Obama nominated U.S. District Judge William Orrick in California has blocked the Trump administration's push to attach anti-DEI strings to federal grant money. I've just never seen a group of people where everything in life is about hate white people and give all the money to black people. That's all they care about. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. These are generally, some of them are black judges, but I would say mostly white, liberal, pathetic, bleeding heart, self-hating, self-destructive judges, communist insurrectionist judges. And they hate white people even though they're white. You know, and I met these people when I went to Columbia University. I know what they're like. I met all these white people that hated white people. The entire Obama administration, everyone ever appointed by Obama, everybody who ever served with Obama, they're all communists and they're white people who hate white people. It's just embarrassing. It's just amazing. And all they want to do is give away all the money and all the jobs to people of color. It's sickening. What if those people of color aren't qualified? What if they're dumb? What if they're low IQ? Well, unfortunately, many of them are, just like many white people are low IQ and dumb. I don't want any job to go to any white person either. I want you to figure out if that person has a high IQ or not. Some do and some don't. The ones who do should get the job. The ones who don't should not. You can't give a job to someone just because of the color of their skin. All right. Sponsor of this segment, Tangible Investments. How important is it to own gold? China's central bank just increased their gold reserves for the 19th consecutive month. China's preparing for what's coming next. Are you ready for what's coming next that I'm sure China's going to cause? Buying gold, however, is not enough. Even that isn't enough. You need to buy at the right price. This is where buyers get misled. Other gold companies say we only charge 1% over cost. But whose cost are they talking about? The real question you need to ask is, what are you charging me over spot price? And then compare that answer to Tangible Investments. I've known the guys at Tangible for decades. Tangible's been in business for more than 40 years, have handled more than $2 billion in transactions, and their team brings over 200 combined years of experience. Right now, Tangible Investments is offering gold bullion at just 1% over spot. That's unheard of. They offer silver as low as 3% over spot. If you want gold or silver or precious metals or rare coins from a real firm with real credibility and honest pricing, call Tangible Investments right now. The phone number, toll free. Doesn't cost you a dime to call them. No risk. 888-330-4351. 888-330-4351. Or go to the website they created just for my fans, rootforgold.com. Rootforgold.com. Tell them War sent you, Wayne Allyn Root. They will roll out the red carpet and they will treat you like a VIP, like a star, like a stud. Rootforgold.com. I'm Wayne Allyn Root. This is Warzone Live, the official podcast of the Gateway Pundit. We'll be right back. All right, one of my favorite guests ever, Allyn Pariser's with us, an advocate for GreatPatriotStore.com. He's been a customer for 36 years, almost 4 decades. My wife and I, Cindy, do much of our monthly shopping now at GreatPatriotStore.com. It's an alternative to wokeness. It's run by pro-American conservatives. USA Today voted it one of the best stores in America in 2025. And with all these communists taking over, Allyn Pariser, New York, Seattle, Chicago, promising cheap government groceries or free, you need to buy American. Tell us why.
Absolutely. You know, a lot of our competitors have completely lost it. They've gone totally woke over the years, but our founding axiom is really very simple. For 41 years, we've been focused on manufacturing exceptional products at reasonable prices, made by Americans, here in America, for Americans. And we've expanded. We have manufacturing plants across the United States, distribution plants across the United States. And not only can Americans get the best quality, the best price from Great Patriot Store, in most cases, we can deliver to your front door even faster than Amazon.
So prices are high everywhere. Procter & Gamble and Amazon are considering price increases. How do the prices at Great Patriot Store compare to national brands?
Well, we've got hundreds of products, Wayne, but if you just take a look at one like our laundry detergent, we make it, it's patented, and it's literally almost fractions, almost half the price of our competitors, and you get 96 loads of wash. It's the best value. There's no toxic chemicals in any of our products whatsoever. And if you're looking to lose some of those holiday pounds, you don't need the shots with the LPG-1 drugs. We have something called berberine. Nature's Ozempic is what people are calling it. It's legit, it works, and we've got it at a better price than any of our competitors.
All right, we've got just seconds to go, so be quick. I love your beef. I eat your sirloin and your New York steak all the time. It's kind of breakfast and lunch for me all the time. Why is your beef superior?
Made in America, never, ever any hormones, ever any antibiotics, no mRNA. It's all prime. It's the best quality that you can find at the best price, free shipping, and it's the best beef on the planet.
All right, to get your free gift, that's right, a free gift, purchase the beef and other great American products. You got to be a member. Go to GreatPatriotStore.com, fill out the form. One of their conservative team members will contact you right away. GreatPatriotStore.com. Happy New Year. Thank you, Allyn.
Thank you, Wayne. God bless.
Hey, Wayne Allyn Root, America Speaks. You call in and we talk about it. Your opinions, your comments, your questions. How do you call in? 800-347-ROOT. 800-347-ROOT. 800-347-7668. The show airs at midnight, East Coast time, 9 p.m. Pacific, but we tape it at 6 p.m. East Coast time, 3 p.m. Pacific. So you call in at 6 p.m. Eastern, and I talk to you, and it airs that night at midnight. The phone number again, 800-347-ROOT. That number is 24/7. You can leave voicemails. We play your voicemails on the air as well.
Hey, Wayne, what do you think about Obama?
He was a communist, socialist, Marxist radical.
I agree.
Or you can email me, wayneroot@gmail.com. I'll read your email live on the air with your comments or questions. America speaks. All right, Thursday, President Trump making a speech to the nation. It's just been announced at 9 p.m. Eastern, so 6 p.m. here on the West Coast. Nobody has any idea what this might be about. I guess it's about the Iran war, or maybe it's about Lindsey Graham. Maybe it's about the Save America Act. Maybe it's about a national security emergency that I've recommended. Who knows? But he is addressing the nation on Thursday night at 9 p.m. East Coast time, so get ready for that one. On this show, get ready for Energized Health. This segment of the show is sponsored by Energized Health. I joined the program in November of 2020. So we're 6 years in, and it changed my life and my career. I lost 25 pounds of fat in only 88 days, gained 10 pounds of muscle. That was 6 years ago, and I've never looked back. There's me 15 years ago with Steve Forbes. There's me in the gym today, about to turn 65 years old next Monday. A week from today, I turn 65. I'm on Medicare now officially. Started July 1st. Cannot believe it. That's the most amazing words that have ever come out of my mouth. 65th birthday and Medicare. Just crazy. I don't know where all the years went, but I look better now than when I was 50. So do you know anybody who looks better at 65 than they did at 50? It goes in the right direction instead of the wrong. Unheard of. And it's because of John Jubilee and Energized Health. The address to go to is energizedhealth.com, energizedhealth.com, and you just say war when you speak to them, or you type in war, and you get 40% off, and you go on the same journey that I did, and hopefully it changes your life the way it did for me, and it reverse ages you the way it did for me, and it gives you a new lease on life and a new career like it did for me. Energizedhealth.com. John Jubilee is with us. There he is. Johnny boy, what's going on? How are you?
Man, happy birthday a week ahead, Wayne. Let's go, brother.
Thank you. So I think this interview should focus on something that is on most people's minds now. They want to take Ozempic or Mounjaro or other GLP-1 drugs. Very popular. Now, I don't agree with that personally, and I know you don't either. It's not really a good choice to make because those drugs have drastic side effects that can really be a terrible thing in your life. However, people definitely lose weight. They lose weight because they lose hydration. They lose weight because they lose muscle. Two terrible reasons to lose weight. But if you're going to be on those drugs, which 50 million Americans are on right now, then you ought to be on Energized Health along with those drugs to save you, to mitigate those terrible side effects, to lessen them or get rid of them. So Energized Health has decades of experience helping people gain lean muscle and healthy hydration, and it works effectively alongside GLP-1s if you make that decision to use them or you're already on them. Remember, it's very hard to ever get off them or you just balloon up again with weight. You go right back to where you were. You could never get off them the rest of your life. So if you're on them right now, you, at the very least, as opposed to getting off them, you have got to get on the Energized Health program to mitigate the terrible side effects. Am I right?
Wayne, you're so right. And I'll just share one of 1,000 stories. So GLP-1s, guys, have been around for more than a decade. They started as a diabetic drug. And so I'll just share a story of one client, but he just represents thousands of people. He went on the Energized Health protocol because he knew he lost his hydration, he lost his lean muscle. He still was over 40 pounds overweight, Wayne. So the drug did not work that well for him for a weight loss drug, but he gained back his healthy hydration, he gained back his lean muscle, and then on the Energized Health protocol, he did what every one of our clients does. For 29 years, our average client loses 7 of these in 88 days. Now, that's better than any GLP-1, by the way. So he actually lost 8 of these. He lost 42 pounds of fat while he gained his hydration, gained his muscle. And then even his doctor told him, Wayne, hey, you've been on this GLP-1 for 13 years. You got your healthy weight, your diabetes reversed. He said, now you should go off of it. So I'm with you, Wayne. I think everybody, listen, the most healthy thing to do is not go on a GLP-1. But if you're going to go on the GLP-1, why don't you get on a protocol like ours that guarantees you're going to gain your hydration, you're going to gain your lean muscle. If you're a diabetic, you're going to reverse. And by the way, we go to the root cause of every illness and disease, which is inflammation. And intercellular hydration is taking a fire hose and spraying it with all the power of a fire hose, which could push a car. And that fire hose of hydration will push the inflammation and the toxins out of your body so that you can have amazing health.
Right, and your patent pending science of intercellular hydration, which worked like a miracle for me, it was my fountain of youth, it reverse aged me. It changes cells from raisins to grapes. Explain what that means. Explain to people the difference between a raisin and a grape and how that affects your cells and your health.
Yeah, well, I love that question because, you know, Wayne, I love to keep it simple for people. And I ask people every day, what's the difference between a raisin and a grape? Hydration, right? Hydration. Well, just imagine if each one of your organs is a raisin because it's shriveled up and dehydrated. If it's your pancreas and it's shriveled up, you're going to have diabetes. If it's your liver and it's shriveled up, you're going to have a fatty liver. If it's your heart and it's shriveled up, you're going to have congestive heart failure. If it's your thyroid, you're going to have to be on a thyroid medication to be supplementing that. If it's your brain, then you're going to have to be on anxiety or a depression medication. Everything is all about the intercellular hydration. If your cells are hydrated, your organs are optimized. And that's why you can reverse any ailment or disease, guys. Yep, you heard me, any, A-N-Y. You can reverse any ailment or disease when you get healthy at the cellular level. And look, it's not a bad side effect, right? Like, who doesn't want to look like Wayne Allyn Root, look 15 years younger, 15 years later? Like, who doesn't want to do that? That's just a great side effect. And Wayne, I'm just going to brag on you. You know what Wayne did, you guys? Wayne used to have 1 million followers on Twitter. He lost them because he's a patriot when it was Twitter. Wayne took off his shirt, man. Like when he showed, hey, no, I gained me some guns. I mean, he literally looks like a high school football player today. If you guys saw him with the shirt off, he looks like a high school football player.
So, how does Energize Health help people reverse diabetes? How do you reverse diabetes, John?
Wayne, it's the raisin and the grape. The number one cause of diabetes, it is not sugar, it is not fat. It is a dehydrated pancreas that cannot regulate insulin. So we have had thousands of people, thousands and thousands, reverse diabetes. We even had people, Wayne, with type 1 diabetes, which they say is not reversible, and they cut their insulin in half. And we had 3 people that said they went completely off of insulin. And why? It's just like jump starting a car battery, right? So if your battery goes down on your car, if you could jump start that thing. So we've had people that their thyroid wasn't working. All of a sudden it's working like it was when they were 15 years old. A liver, a kidney. You know, there's a doctor right there from your city, Dr. Brian Taylor, Wayne, from Las Vegas, and he only came and heard me speak live because he had so much respect for you. But he said, this sounds impossible. You're telling me you can reverse irreversible kidney failure? I said, Dr. Taylor, I'll bet you $1 million we can reverse it. And he said, I have so much faith in Wayne, and I believe in the science of what you said. I'm going to try it. And he reversed his irreversible kidney failure. It's on the front of our website. You can see the testimonial.
That's great. So how can my fans get started? How simple is it to get started? How inexpensive is it to get started?
Guys, listen, you're talking a couple $100 a month, $250 a month, $291 a month with your spouse. It's 100% money back guaranteed. Everybody can afford it. Everybody can do it. We have people in their 90s that do it. We have people in wheelchairs that do it. So everyone can do it. All you have to do is book the call. There's no salespeople at Energize Health. We only share. We share an experience. We are the solution to the problem, and all we're doing is offering you a solution to your problem. So just go on the website, energizedhealth.com. Book that call, and you're going to talk to a real person that has their own miracle story, but they're going to help you to have your miracle story.
And I've got my miracle story. So I think, that's a great endorsement, testimonial for the product. I've been on the program for 6 years. It took me only 88 days to lose the 25 pounds of fat. I didn't lose 25 pounds of weight. Matter of fact, I gained 10 pounds of muscle, so I didn't lose 25 pounds at all. I barely lost anything at all. But I came back in a different shape. My body and my face are a different shape, and that really changed my life. Thank you, John Jubilee. Thank you, Energized Health. The website, energizedhealth.com. Watch the free masterclass to learn what happens and how you get involved. Energizedhealth.com. Go to the free masterclass and then type in WAR to get 40% off. When you speak to them, just say WAR and you'll get your 40% off. John Jubilee, thank you. I'll see you at my birthday party next weekend.
I'll see you there, brother.
All right, Wayne Allyn. I guess we've still got a few minutes left to this segment, right? Like 2 minutes left. What do we have, Daniel? All right, so let me just get to some news stories I hadn't got to yet. Trump administration building their own fleet of deportation planes to operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Tired of having to depend on charters and third parties. It's a new strategy that will allow us to deport even more illegal immigrants even faster. Great news. I mean, again, when I just don't even know where people are coming from when they say, Wayne, Trump has really let us down. I'm not voting Republican in the midterms. And I hear this from a lot of people. You're all wrong. I mean, again, it's because the news media completely changes the news that you hear. You got to listen to Wayne Root show every day to figure out what's really going on. But the Trump administration is laying the foundation for a faster pace of deportations by building a fleet of planes to carry illegals out of the United States. The Homeland Security is currently asking aviation companies to propose how they would operate deportation flights and also how they would, if I can get this, here we go, respond to emergencies. The fleet of planes would include Gulfstream 650Rs, C-37Bs, Boeing 737s or 700s. The fleet would operate 24/7 for domestic and overseas flights. Load up the planes en masse and send the foreign invaders back. Contractors would be hired to provide pilots, flight attendants, auxiliary staff that could include nurses and security. Flights would include deportation and voluntary repatriation flights, meaning what I always say, self-deportation. I believe we need mass self-deportation. And finally, the last news of the day, documents expose why Tim Walz and his board awarded a repeat child rapist a pardon. So let's see why. Let's see the brilliant reasoning. A 42-year-old illegal immigrant convicted of repeatedly raping a child was awarded a pardon by Governor Tim Walz's Board of Pardons after the state's Clemency Commission recommended it be granted due to immigration concerns. What does that mean? Don't give him a pardon because otherwise he'll be deported. So they don't want a guy deported who rapes children. So Fox News Digital reviewed documents from the Minnesota Clemency Review Commission, which voted 4-2 to grant a pardon to Laotian national Tu Lu Vang following his conviction for criminal sexual conduct. He admitted to repeatedly raping a girl over a multi-year period beginning when she was 10 years old. While the two board members who voted against granting a pardon noted the serious nature of Vang's offenses, the four members recommending a pardon each listed concern about him being deported. One commissioner voted in favor of granting the pardon, wrote, "Very tough case, but kids not having a father is not in the best interest of society," referring to Vang's 6 children. So in other words, he has 6 children. It's not good for them if you deport him, even though he decided to rape a 10-year-old repeatedly. These are sick people. There's something mentally wrong. First of all, if he rapes little children, think about this. Do you really want him around his 6 children? he's going to rape his own daughters. Maybe he'll rape his own sons too. Crazy, crazy people. Liberals are mentally ill and mentally deranged. All right, coming up next in 1 hour from now, it is America Speaks. We tape it live on Real America's Voice YouTube channel. So you go to YouTube and you look up Real America's Voice, and there's my show live every day at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, and you get to call in and speak to Wayne Root. Then the show airs on Real America's Voice at midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific. Call 800-347-ROOT. Line up now and be ready to speak to me, or leave a voicemail. We play your voicemails on the air. 800-347-ROOT. 800-347-ROOT. And you can speak to me live 1 hour from now. It's a 1 hour show. Call-ins galore. America Speaks on Real America's Voice TV and on YouTube every day at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, 1 hour from now. 800-347-ROOT. Or email me and I'll read your email on the air, wayneroot@gmail.com. All right, that's it for today's show. Warzone Live. Have a great night. Bye-bye. Hey, Wayne Allen Root, America Speaks. You call in and we talk about it. Your opinions, your comments, your questions. How do you call in? 800-347-ROOT. 800-347-ROOT. 800-347-7668. The show airs at midnight, East Coast time, 9 p.m. Pacific, but we tape it at 6 p.m. East Coast time, 3 p.m. Pacific. So you call in at 6 p.m. Eastern, and I talk to you, and it airs that night at midnight. The phone number again, 800-347-ROOT. That number is 24/7. You can leave voicemails. We play your voicemails on the air as well.
Hey, Wayne, what do you think about Obama?
He was a communist, socialist, Marxist radical.
I agree.
Or you can email me, wayneroot@gmail.com. I'll read your email live on the air with your comments or questions. America Speaks. All right, I'm joined by Kip Herridge, my old buddy, and an economic expert, CEO of Vertical Research Advisory. His website, VRAinsider.com. As I've explained on this show so many times, VRA has beaten the market in 19 of the last 22 years since Kip founded the VRA in 2003. Over the last 3 years, VRA had an average gain of 37%. Kip, congratulations on your success. I've seen it firsthand for over 22 years. I've read your newsletter for the last 22 plus years. You're my personal financial expert. How do you guys keep beating the markets almost every year when 90% of Wall Street money managers fail to do so?
Well, thanks, Wayne. You know, I worked in that environment for 15 years, worked at Wall Street 15 years, helped take 7 companies public, raised and managed several $100 million. And I know how the groupthink of Wall Street works, and that's not how people make money. 90% of money managers, as you say, don't beat the markets every year. We do. And the reason really is I had great mentors that helped me to create what we call our VRA investing system. It's our proprietary market timing and sector selection system that tells us when to be in the market, when to be out, when to be aggressive, and when to take some profits, take some money to cash. And that helps us with our sector selection. Again, market timing, those are real keys. And we also love doing individual stock research. So that's where you put our clients and subscribers into, again, ETFs, individual stocks. And we also love Bitcoin and gold, as you know, and silver. In 2003, I recommended gold at $350 an ounce, silver at $5. We recommended Bitcoin at $2,000 in 2017. And combined with those three, we're up over 4,000% in gains for our 40 times your money for our subscribers. So we do things a little differently. 5th and 6th generation native Texans, and we love what we do here in Texas.
Well, I'm a witness to all of it. I've been there for all of it. There's a lot of fear out there today, Kip. What should investors know about the stock market right now?
Yeah, you got to be in this market. That's what investors should know. Look, volatility is the price of admission. It just is. It comes with the territory. But these dips give us great buying opportunities. Look, we've been the most bullish market strategists in America for the last 4 years. We call this the innovation revolution meets the Trump economic miracle meets an absolute ocean of liquidity. Those are our big three. Again, Trump's economic miracle this year is really going to start paying its dues. We expect GDP growth to hit 5% this year. We expect the markets we think this bull market runs into the 2030s.
All right, everyone gets 2 weeks free automatically by going to VRAinsider.com. 2 weeks free. Judge for yourself. VRAinsider.com. Kip Herridge, thank you.
Thank you, Wayne.